Hello, Year 7. Welcome back to another English lesson. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of May. We're pausing on Lexonics just for this lesson to respond to some feedback we want to give you about the poetry comparison paragraphs you wrote last Thursday. Okay, so this is going to be responding to that feedback and we're going to develop some of our ideas. So your learning objective today is to be able to develop my how section of a poetry comparison. Okay, so that is our learning objective because myself, Miss Delve, and Mrs. Rice thought that a lot of you, or the majority of you, really need to concentrate on that how section and just really go into depth with the analysis and the ideas that you've got. Okay, so that is our learning objective for today. Just a quick recap, as we already know. Mrs. Rice is the Year 7 leader. Myself and Miss Delve are also on the Year 7 team. You don't email your English teacher. You need to post questions in the Google Stream on Google Classroom if you're stuck. Some people seem to be getting a little bit stuck and not answering, not answering the question, or writing, saying, I don't know, in the Google form. That is what we're there for, okay? So if you're so stuck you don't think you could even have a go at the question, make sure you post it in the Google Stream so we can help you. All right, we're there between 11 and 12 each day. If you have a really, really big problem with your English work, then email Mrs. Rice and her email address is there. That shouldn't be new, but just wanted to remind you, okay? Right, before we get started, today's cheerful challenge is to make a positivity jar. Okay, you might be going, Miss, I have no idea what a positivity jar is. That sounds too stressful. I can't do it. You're wrong. Making a positivity jar is really simple. All you need is an old jam jar or any sort of glass jar that you have in the house and a pen and paper, okay? What you do is you write notes that are positive or happy and you put them in the jar. Over here are some examples of notes that you can put in a jar. This is another example of um, another school that's done some positivity jars and I think they work really well, okay? Then you can either leave the jar in your own house or give it to a friend or neighbour to make them feel positive. You could leave it out your front outside your front door. You could give it to a relative that you maybe are dropping some shopping off to, or a friend or a neighbour. I think that it would be really nice to sort of make their day positive as well. So what you do is you get your clean jam jar. Remember, it needs to be clean. It can't have jam in it. You write notes that are positive and happy, just like these ones over here. They can be simple things like you can do this, or stay positive, or a little heart, or a funny picture. This one's quite nice. Stars can't shine without darkness. I think that's quite nice and positive. Okay. Then you put them in the jar, you fold them up, put them in the jar, and you put the lid back on, and then you can drop it off at someone's house. Now you can decorate the jar as much or as little as you like. This one over here, they've decorated it with like saying it's a jar of happiness, and they've put a little rainbow on there. It's completely up to you, okay? If you've got like lots of craft stuff, go for it, go wild, make it as pretty and as happy as you can. So that is your cheerful challenge, all right? Remember, you can come back to this if you want to at the end. You must make sure you do this cheerful challenge after all your schoolwork. This one might take a little bit of time, so it might be a nice activity for over half term or over the weekend. All right, so that is your cheerful challenge. Before we get started as well, we need to do our quick recap. So you need to answer the recap questions in the Google form that just follow on from this video. These link back to poetry, so you're going to have to think really hard because it's been a few days now since we've done poetry. Give them a go. You can do it. I believe in you. Off you go.